Last episode saw 3 huge formation changes and 3 very different results. A 2-1 loss to Arsenal, a 1-0 win against West Ham, and a historic 2-1 win at Anfield. And those results lifted us up to 6th place in the table, just 1 spot off the final Champions League place. And so today we've got a big formation decision to make, and plenty of footballing action to get through. But of course, if you are enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get on with today's episode. So after setting up my team with this very attacking 3-2-5 formation in order to accommodate all my attackers, I've been struggling defensively, leaving gaping holes open in the wing-back positions and leaving my star centre-back Ibanez all over the shop in his opening few games in a Brighton shirt. And with your help to try and solve the problem, you came up with 3 alternative variations that I could play. First of all, starting with this 3-4-3 formation with 2 central defensive midfielders, pushing the likes of Maffeo and Estupinian up higher to try and join the midfield. Secondly was this more attack-minded 4-3-3 formation which brought Ludovic Blas back into the starting 11 and played him just in the hole behind the striker. And thirdly was a more defence-minded 4-3-3 formation yet again, but shifting Ludovic Blas back into central midfield and putting Tahoud in that defensive midfield role. And after putting a poll out on my channel asking you guys to decide what formation you wanted to proceed with, you were unequivocal in your vote, with the overwhelming majority of you suggesting to go forward with the 4-3-3 attacking formation. Clearly you were inspired by the wonderful goal that Ludovic Blas scored with his head when we played with it against West Ham, and so as per my word, this will be the formation that we will be using for the foreseeable future. And to be honest, I'm actually quite glad that this was the one you went for. It gives me balance across my defence, allows me to play with 3 midfielders and having Ludovic Blas in his more natural central attacking midfield position, and still gives me the option to try and utilise some of the incredible attacking talent we have at the club. And so with that in mind, and with us having a jam-packed schedule to get through today, we're going to jump straight into the action and play some serious games against the AI to see just how well this formation plays out. And we start off with a 1-1 draw at home, courtesy of a late goal from Evan Ferguson. Ludovic Blas nets a late winner in the 89th minute to secure the 3 points as we beat Watford 3-2. We managed to beat Sheffield United 2-1, courtesy of another 2 goals from Evan Ferguson. 2-2 away from home against Fulham maintains our 4-game unbeaten streak, and another 2-2 draw this time to Newcastle stretches that to 5 games. And we inflict our biggest victory of the episode so far, 3-0 away from home against Nottingham Forest. And in the biggest test of the episode so far, we go to Stamford Bridge and we win 2-1 courtesy of 2 goals from Ludovic Blas. And the incredible performances and results continue as we manage to secure a point in a thrilling 3-3 draw against City. It's another draw though, this time against Aston Villa as it finishes 1-1 at Villa Park. And to round off this run of games, we get another 3 points under our belts as we secure a home 2-1 win against Wolves. Well, what an incredible turnaround that was. A fantastic run of form sees us unbeaten in 10 games so far this episode, playing in this 4-4-3 attacking formation. The board have demanded that we qualify for the Europa League this season, and with 15 games played, we are smashing that target in 5th place, 29 points to our name, and we're just 2 points off the final Champions League spot. Evan Ferguson has come alive this season, 9 goals in 14 Premier League games, in an incredible run of form for the young Irishman. And clearly playing Ludovic Blas in the hole just behind him is benefiting both Evan Ferguson and Ludovic Blas himself, as he's chipped in with 7 goals so far this campaign. And as for new signing Harvey Barnes, well, what a replacement for Matoma he's been. 15 games, 4 goals, 5 assists in a fantastic start in a Brighton shirt. And what makes this even more impressive is the fact that we've done this without our highest rated defender, Roger Ibanez, who is still out with a broken rib and doesn't look likely to be fit for another 10 days. And so I think it's finally time for me to take on the reins and see what I can do, and actually taking proper charge of this team in my first played game of the episode as we head to Goodison Park against Everton. Tahoud, he's got 2 options ahead of him, and he finds the onrushing run of Harvey Barnes, but he doesn't have any options in the penalty area as Evan Ferguson came deep to try and pick up the ball. Instead he tried to find Patrick Vimmer but couldn't in the end. Maffeo into Koku. We've started off this opening 10 minutes in fine form. Tried to whip a ball in, smashed it off of Mikolenko. We've got a first corner of the game. Koku to try and whip this one in, and he's looking for the head of Estupinian. Only gets as far as the Everton defenders, but Patrick Vimmer will sprat back over to him. I'm going to try and whip this back in with my left foot. Looking for Harvey Barnes, can't find him again. Lewis Dunk finds a Estupinian who's playing incredibly high on that left-hand side, who finds Harvey Barnes into Ludovic Blas, looks for Tahoud with his left, and Tahoud smashes it into the bottom right-hand corner. Well, it's a beautiful piece of build-up play, and once again Ludovic Blas is involved, getting into the pocket of space and laying off what can only be described as a beautiful through ball to the on-rushing Tahoud, who found himself in the penalty area, and look at that for a finish. Gave Jordan Pickford no chance. Sean Dyche can't believe it. It's 1-0. Ludovic Blas again picks it up and turns. I'm going to try and find Patrick Wimmer. I do manage to find him. He finds Evan Ferguson on his right. What a save. Well, the start to this game has been absolutely ferocious, and we're going to look to add a second here as Estupinian just headers over the bar. Keane tries to fire a ball all the way out to the right-hand side, but Estupinian read that one brilliantly. And look at him bring the ball forward here. And he finds the run of Blas, who finds the run of Evan Ferguson, who finds the back of the net with ease. Jordan Pickford tried to take him out, but it wasn't meant to be. Instead, he put the ball in the back of the net with aplomb. Again, Ludovic Blas was involved with a beautiful touch and turn. And what on earth was Jordan Pickford doing? He was all over the place. But I don't care either way, because Evan Ferguson has powered us into a 2-0 lead. We're going to try and bring the ball out of defence here. Dunk has given that ball away really cheaply. And now Moises Keane has it. And Hugo Lloris is forced into action for the first time in this game. Ludovic Blas finds Patrick Wimmer down the right-hand side, and he's got acres of space to run into here. Can he find a better ball into the box this time? Evan Ferguson was just inches away. Headed down, only as far as Idrissa Gana Gueye. Fires a wicked ball into Dele Alli, and that was a lovely flick on, but it was a brilliant save again from Hugo Lloris. Cocu into Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson's got Patrick Wimmer on the right-hand side. He cuts inside, looking for Ludovic Blas. It's beautiful. Blas into the box. Blas to strike. Oh, just wide. Into Palazon. He finds Longstaff, and he's got an option of Dwight McNeil ahead of him, and he finds Moise Keane. He looks for, I think, Sicaldo it was. And in the end, Everton get a goal back with 77 minutes on the clock. Well, it was a beautiful piece of counter-attacking play. My defence were a bit all over the shop there. And it's a wonderful finish from the central midfielder. Hugo Lloris unlucky not to keep a clean sheet. But frustratingly, with just 13 minutes remaining on the clock, Everton are back in this game. Back to Mikalenko. Everton really now starting to put the pressure on as Longstaff drives into the box. Where are my defence? They're nowhere to be seen, but eventually Lewis Dunk manages to come across. Captain fantastic, and he will clear the ball away. Patrick Wimmer here now, trying to bring the ball forward. He's got an option of Enciso. He finds Enciso. Enciso continues his run across the box, looking for Harvey Barnes to put an end to this game and to seal our fate as victors here at Goodison Park. A beautiful and incisive piece of counter-attacking play. Lovely play, unselfish play from Enciso, just to lay it across to Harvey Barnes, who was in a better position, and he smashed it into an empty net. It's 3-1. And with the referee calling time on what can only be described as a sensational performance yet again, that man Harvey Barnes with the icing on the cake to give us the third and final goal. It's another 3 points in the bag at full time as it's Everton 1, Brighton 3. And I've got to be honest here, I am just basking in the glow of what can only be described as a sensational 11-game unbeaten run so far in this episode. And with us now already getting 32 points on the board with just 16 games play, our highest points tally so far in this entire career mode. And with a 4th place Spurs heading to the Amex Stadium in our very next game. We are not messing about, we are diving straight into that game as we aim to get the better of them and to climb up into the final Champions League spot for the first time this season. But I won't lie to you though, only a couple of minutes into this game and I am already regretting the choice of kit. I completely forgot to check that Spurs needed to play in their away kit, and for some reason I'm already struggling right now as the Estupinian isn't struggling, whips a good ball into the box, and we just can't get our head on it once again. Harvey Barnes into Estupinian yet again, whips another good ball into the box, looking for Evan Ferguson, and this time it's just high and wide. Williams to bring the ball forward for Spurs, finds Harry Kane in a brilliant position, and he's checked back really nicely, but Igor there, deputising for the injured Roger Ibanez with a beautiful challenge, and now Ludovic Blas can try and release Evan Ferguson down the line. He can't get there ahead of Joe Rodon. Harry Kane in, lovely ball into Heung-min Son into the box, and Heung-min Son fires past his former captain in Hugo Lloris to give Spurs an early 1-0 lead here. Well, Harry Kane knew exactly what he was doing. Lovely, lovely touch right into Heung-min Son's path. And Heung-min Son, when you give him that much time and space, he buried the ball. Spurs, unfortunately, lead 1-0. Estupinian down the left-hand side, finds Harvey Barnes. Barnes is going to look infield to Evan Ferguson, who's come deep. And he manages to shrug off the challenge of the Spurs defenders. Maffeo out to Patrick Wimmer. Wimmer's going to try and fire a ball in. It's not the best one, but we will win a corner. And Cocu to fire in the resulting corner. Looks for Ludovic Blas with his head. And it's trapped with a big save for Spurs. Udogie now for Spurs. Lovely pass into Harry Kane. And he releases Udogie yet again. He goes one-on-one with Igor. And he finds it into Harry Kane again. He finds Heung-min Son again. And Heung-min Son just over the bar. Cocu into Ludovic Blas. Blas is going to try and find Pablo Maffeo on the right-hand side. Maffeo brings the ball forward and just drives past the Spurs defenders and almost whipped in a beautiful ball. But it goes back to Harvey Barnes, who lashes his strike high and wide. Bentancur for Spurs. A lovely ball all the way out wide to the left-hand side to Udogie, who's taken it down really nicely, but he's challenged well by Pablo Maffeo, and we've won the ball back. And Patrick Wimmer now can try and lead the counter-attack for us. It's Koku, tries to find a ball back to Wimmer, finds a wonderful ball back, and Wimmer continues his run to the edge of the box looking for Evan Ferguson. Oh, it's just off the 6-yard area from Joe Rodon. That was our best opportunity of the game. Into Ludovic Blas, who's going to fire a ball all the way out wide to the left-hand side. Harvey Barnes lays it off to the overlapping Estupinian. And Estupinian now tries to drive to the edge of the Tottenham box. Whips a good ball in. There isn't anyone there to meet the end of it, but we have managed to keep the ball alive. Maffeu now is going to try and whip it in this time. He looks for Harvey Barnes. It's headed away again from the Spurs defence. We are knocking on the door, but we can't quite seem to knock it down. But we have pressed high and won the ball back. Harvey Barnes finds Pascal Gross is on as a sub. Ludovic Blas strikes with his left. Another big save from Trapp. Koku to take the corner. Just over 5 minutes remaining on the clock here. Igor, the central defender, picks it up and strikes. And that is the strike of a central defender. Igor gave that away really cheaply to the former Brighton man and Yves Bissouma. And Bentancur now can bring the ball forward for Spurs. Looking to find the edge of our penalty area. Twisting, turning well away from my defenders. Igor, though, comes in, tries to make amends, but it's Williams who tries to strike. It's rebounding off my defender. Harvey Barnes to bring it forward as the referee, unfortunately, blows for full time. I'll tell you what, there is some real disappointment in the Brighton camp after this game. We actually played some really good football, especially in the second half, and I think we were really unlucky not to at least get a point. At full time, it finishes Brighton 0. Spurs 1. And whilst that victory for Spurs does mean that they've managed to leapfrog both Manchester clubs into second place in the league, I think we can be pretty proud of our performance and where we've come in the first half of the season, as we've already established a 7-point gap to Everton in 6th place. And with 4 more games to take us to the very start of the January transfer window, we managed to get back on a winning track away from home against Crystal Palace, courtesy of goals from Evan Ferguson again and Harvey Barnes to make it 2-1. We managed to secure a point at home against Manchester United with a solid 0-0 draw. It's another draw, this time to Leicester City, as we finished 2-2, and a 2-1 win at home to Leeds United on the 31st of December rounds off what has been a sensational run of results at the back end of this calendar year. And that incredible run of results has brought us level with Manchester City in 4th and 5th place with 21 games played. And with the transfer window now officially open and £77 million left in the transfer budget, I am planning to make one more signing next episode to kick on with this momentum and hopefully see if we can get over the line and clinch that final Champions League spot. But that is it for the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.